Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff, DiVeronica and Steve Bradley. And Steve, I've been talking about basketball postseason being my favorite time of the year, and tournament time is my favorite time of the year. But my favorite interviews is when we're talking to a state champion. And I say believe it or not, because 10 years ago, if you told me Victor was going to win a state championship in basketball, I would have told you you're crazy. But here they are, the Victor Blue Devils, Coach Tyler Roberts, Owen Dake, and Nick Leonard from the champions of Class AA, the largest class, after two convincing wins in Glens Falls. Coach, congratulations on a well-deserved championship. No one can say that you didn't earn this, and you did it in very convincing fashion. What did it take for these guys to pull this off?
Yeah, I think it took an elite level of focus from them this weekend. Our guys were incredibly locked in like I've never seen them before. We only had 2 turnovers in the state championship game, and that's really hard to do. We rebounded 83% in the championship game, which is another incredible accomplishment from our team. And those are 2 numbers that we didn't even get to in any games this year. So I'm super impressed with our group, and what it took over the long run was just trying to get 1% better every day.
So Nick, everybody likes to talk about offense, but we look at the final scores from Glens Falls. In the semifinals, you beat North Rockland 56-38, and then you beat Brentwood in the final 56-41. Your team consistently scored 56, but you held the opponent to an average of about 39 points in those games. What clicked on the defensive end for your team to be successful?
I think it comes to the film study from our assistant coach, another coach, Greg Roberts. He's a great guy. He's our defensive coordinator. He got us a really good game plan, and all of us followed it, and it worked out in the end.
Could you elaborate on that game plan a little bit? What did you do? Because in the day and age of 3-pointers where everybody wants to run and gun and stick the three, that's such an impressive effort on the defensive end. What specifically did Coach Roberts have you guys doing?
Against North Rockland, we knew they had a really good guard, so we tried to do our best to take him away. They had 2 really good players. Against Brentwood, they had another really good guy, but mostly we're just trying to force teams to take low percentage shots, pull up mid-ranges, floaters. We're trying to force teams to take the worst shot possible in a possession.
Owen, you guys have had a couple days in school as we record this. What's it been like walking around school as a state champion? What's the reaction been like by the student body and Victor?
It's definitely awesome. You get a lot of congratulations and high fives from people, and definitely a fun experience.
Coach, how about your phone? You're pretty well connected in the Rochester basketball community. Your phone blow up a little bit this weekend?
Just a little bit. It was great to hear from so many people that have been part of the journey with us and then also competing against us. I mean, the Rochester coaching community and fraternity is just incredible, and we really all pull for each other. And it was really nice to hear from a lot of people that have been part of the journey.
I actually was there to see almost all the championship game. That was North Rockland, and you held them to 3 for 18 3-point shooting. And they tried. I know they tried to get back in it in the third quarter, and you guys just wouldn't let them back in it. Nick, let me ask you this, because I've heard this from your coach before, and it's everybody's got to buy in, right? And it's no one's more important than the next guy. Everyone's got to pull their weight. That doesn't always work in today's world, many arenas, not just sports. But how does this group check itself and make sure that everyone's kind of keeping themselves in line? Is that something that emerges from the coaching staff or among the team leaders? Where does that unselfishness, I guess, kind of emanate from?
I think it's from when we were younger and just growing up, and the coaches always embrace it too. We never kept a stat sheet until we never knew how much points we had. We never knew how much rebounds each other had. We were just playing together, and we always ran 5 out, always passed the ball to each other. And coach preaches the unselfishness all the time too.
And I just want to build on that, Coach. I noticed one thing that was pretty cool is a lot of teams, they introduced their starters individually. Your team is introduced as the Victor Blue Devils. Has that been something that's happened all season, and where did that concept come from?
Yeah, we did that all season. And I mean, we truly believed that for us to reach our potential this year, we had to play together as a team. And, like Nick mentioned, it comes from our travel program all the way through. And we've had a lot of great travel coaches that have preached putting the team first. And if we're truly putting the team first, then why would we introduce 5 players from our team and not the other 7 guys? It didn't make any sense. So, we're all in with that concept, and we thought, maybe we can win a sectional title if we can be all in on that stuff. And I think it was a big piece of it.
Oh, and let me ask you
Owen,
about,
Jeff has talked about,
go ahead,
I'm
Steve.
sorry, Jeff. Yeah, Owen, Jeff has talked about roles and buying in, and coach just mentioned that, you're introduced as 1, not as 5. What does that do for buy-in among the team when you all know that, the coaches and the community, everybody has their job to do and everybody's job is respected? What does that do in terms of making your team more cohesive?
It just means that all the guys know that they have their role and, when to step up and play as a team. And obviously there's guys like at a higher level, but at the end of the day, as long as we all work together and we can get the win.
Victor, 24-2. And Owen, coach described you when he told me you're going to be part of the interview as an emerging sophomore. You've done really well this year. Where have you tried to get better this season, Owen? And where do you want to keep getting better?
Definitely more aggressive on the offensive side, taking my shots like where, higher percentages and working in the paint just to get stronger and go up against those bigger guys.
Nick, I want to take you back to the regional play-in game against Niagara Falls. Your team had built up a lead, and Niagara Falls had a big run at the end of the third quarter and made it a 2-point game. Then Griffin Hopkins had a great start to the fourth quarter with some points, and then at the end they fed you inside, and you were able to close them out. And a team like Niagara Falls has a huge reputation. I just thought that was a great example of how your team has a lot of answers. What that night, to stop that momentum and regroup, what did that take from your club?
I think when times get tough in our group, we usually huddle up, talk it out, talk about what we got to do better, what we got to do next possession. But like you said, we have so many answers offensively and defensively that helped us build back that run and eventually won the game.
Well, speaking of that, the championship game, 5 guys scored between, this was to me, the microcosm of the whole team in the whole season. 5 guys scored between 9 and 15 points. Griffin, they had a great game again. They had a great postseason. 15 points, Garrett Clark, 12, and then 9 each for Nick, AJ Query, and Cam Ryan. And in the semifinals, it was Garrett with 19 and Cam with 16. Coach, that kind of balance, that's something that I think you probably preach and dream about. But did you see any frustration build up in your opponents or even North Rockland when, like Steve mentioned, you guys kept coming up with answers? Did you see them getting any frustration building up in them?
I don't pay attention a lot to the other team as far as their emotions and things during the games. But I do know that our team is difficult to guard because we're not hunting for our own shot. We're hunting for the best shot for the team. And, I think that's the toughest type of offense to guard. And our guys have completely bought into that philosophy. And some nights Griffin might score 20. The other night it might be Nick. It might be Garrett Clare, Cam Ryan. And our guys they're not out there to get their own points. They're out there to get points for Victor.
Steve, let's take a quick break, come back, and I want to tell you about probably the bumpiest part of the whole trip to Glens Falls that I actually almost was a part of seeing. And it all turned out well, including pizza at a fire department. And also we'll talk a little bit about Long Island Lutheran and the next step for the Victor Blue Devils this weekend in the Federation Tournament. You're watching us right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.
Looking for a used truck? Can you find one out of 350? At BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, you'll find one. Love SUVs? 800 are waiting for you to take one home at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. at 350 pre-owned sedans, and you've got a total of 1,500 used vehicles only at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
Have you visited Roberts Wesleyan University yet? The time is now to choose your own time to get a customized visit. You'll get a feel for the university, meet a current student over lunch, tour the campus, and more. You can set up a visit anytime and any day that works for you. Schedule your visit at roberts.edu/visit. At Roberts Wesleyan University, we want to make your visit twice as rewarding. Be one of the first 500 students to visit campus and receive a $100 Amazon gift card. To qualify, the traditional undergraduate student must attend an on-campus admissions event or personalize a visit to campus with at least 3 activities. 1 gift card per student. For more information, visit roberts.edu/visit.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
The best 3 things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guy school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
Hi, this is Jeff DiVeronica. I'd like to tell you about my friends from Doyle Security. We lost my father-in-law a few years ago, and that meant my mother-in-law was going to be alone in her house. One of my first calls was to Doyle. Doyle has an award-winning burglary detection system, and that gave her peace of mind again. It gave her comfort. These days, you can't put a price tag on that. Whether it's for your family or yourself, at any stage of your life, Doyle is there for you. For seniors, Doyle offers a personally enabled GPS emergency response system. They have a full array of smart systems, including fire and carbon monoxide detection, security cameras, and more for your home or business. More than 35,000 families and businesses rely on Doyle every day and every night. Family owned and operated for more than 100 years, you don't have that kind of staying power unless you're doing something right. To learn more, call 1-866-GO-DOYLE or visit godoyle.com.
Baby, sweet baby.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Protecting your home's worth pays off when you trust the experienced team at American Custom. We've all seen our homes go up in value, making home improvements a wise choice. If you think your home is worth a lot now, just wait until our team is done with it. Call American today.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley talking with the state champions from Victor. And again, quite an ascent under Coach Roberts here the last few seasons. And Steve, I haven't had the time to research this, but we talked about it. In the past decade, you can, and I don't think any school in Section 5 can match this. Victor has won state championships now in baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, basketball, hockey, 6 different sports. I'm leaving any victory sport.
And lost by 1 point in the state finals in the football game because Coach Mandel had the guts to go for 2, and they didn't get it. But I mean, so close.
Pretty impressive. Nick, let me ask you about being an athlete in this school district. What's it like? Does that competitiveness or the championships, do you all compete with each other? Like we're going to win it just like the baseball team did or the lacrosse team did? What's that like for you guys?
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a long time since we won much in basketball, and you always hear the lacrosse guys bragging about state sectional titles. Hockey last year, they were talking about it. They weren't really bragging, but they were just talking about it. It really fueled us. I would say it's also one of the big motivations, including the loss to Rush last year, really fueled us to go and win something big.
Owen, take us inside a little bit with Coach Roberts, right? He's been there 6 years. Program has gone from, some good seasons to, the top of the mountain in the state. And I think that AA basketball may be the toughest thing to win in the whole state. And you guys just did that. So what's Coach like in terms of we hear him and he's, preparation and all those things, but what's it like playing for Coach Roberts?
Coach is definitely like one of my biggest supporters and someone like I look up to. And, as a sophomore winning states, your first season on varsity basketball, I mean, there's not much you can ask for more than that. So, I mean, definitely a great experience, and I'm excited to keep playing for him.
Well, I can tell you this, the great experience on the way home from Glens Falls for Victor turned a little dicey when the weather got a little nasty and you all were about my guess is maybe an hour ahead of me on the trip back from the capital region, and your bus got into a little accident. Everyone's safe, everyone's fine, but you had to get off the thruway and they had to send another bus to come get you. Coach, what was that like for the guys? I mean, you probably got a couple extra hours together to celebrate the victory. And you went, I think, to the Westmoreland Fire Department. How did that all come together where you end up at the Westmoreland Fire Department?
Yeah, the Westmoreland Fire Department volunteers were unbelievable. They were great hosts. They set up a table for us. Steve Slavny's family sent pizza. And honestly, about 20 minutes into being there, it really looked like we were at a family barbecue or something in someone's backyard. But they were super gracious and helped us out. And definitely something I don't think these boys will forget anytime soon.
It's made another little twist to the trip of winning a state championship. And props to the Slavny family. Actually, I know Steve Slavny's wife, Jill. We went to college together, and I know these are salt of the earth people over in central New York, and they're good people. So glad it all worked out. Steve?
Nick, from a player's perspective, what was that all like? Were you guys jacked up on the bus ride home and that happened, or had you spent all your energy? What was the emotional wavelength on the way home?
Yeah, like before it happened, all of us were really sleeping. We talked for the beginning of the ride, but we were all sleeping, and it woke us up. But at the fire station, the vibes were still high, even though the tone was still low. We took some pictures of the firemen. Some of the guys cranked out some chess. They were playing chess. We're all just messing around. Mood didn't really change, and then the celebration after was amazing.
Well, I know it's a young team and you have plans for next year too, Coach, but let's talk about next weekend real quick. Long Island Lutheran Federation. This is going to be on Saturday, 11 a.m. I believe it's at Shaker High School. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah.
What kind of scouting report can you give us on Long Island Lutheran? Other than I've heard they're really big. How big?
I don't know exactly how big they are, and I don't think the size matters as much as their skill level and their basketball IQ, which those are two strong suits of their team. I think ESPN has them ranked 4th in the nation right now, and they play a national schedule. And we're excited about this challenge, and there's a path to beat every team. And so we're gonna try to find that path on Saturday.
All right, Owen, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're a sophomore, but I'm gonna use a little word association. Ready? I'm gonna give you a phrase. Nick, you can jump in if he doesn't know. I'm gonna give Owen the first crack at this. Ready? Because what coaches told me, I just popped in my mind. The bigger they are, complete that sentence. Owen, any idea? There's an expression. The bigger they are.
Come
Nick,
on,
anything?
the harder they fall.
You
Yes,
got
sir.
it. Owen, winner.
Let's
Winner.
go, Owen.
Put them on a game show. Well done. That's right. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, Steve, if you have anything else for the Blue Devils, speak now.
Well, just one little tidbit, Jeff. Shaker High School in Latham, the alma mater of Sam Perkins, who actually played in the state tournament in Rochester in the late 70s, went to North Carolina. Nick, just, what about this opportunity, right? The whole mentality, I think everybody who's a competitor likes to embrace is, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And, what about this team high in the ESPN polls? I mean, you going in it with fun. I mean, obviously you want to win, but what's the mindset?
It's just go out there and just play our best. It's all you can ask out of a team. I know Coach will ask us for that, and we just gotta do our best. I know they got stars, but stars don't mean nothing when you're on the court. You just gotta come out and ball against them.
Nick, all you had to say, the answer was, Steve, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's the mindset. That's
Steve, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's it. I love it. All right. Look at Victor. We're all rooting for you. Go take them down. Go keep doing your thing. And to quote the great Norman Dale from Hoosiers, and I think I may have team. No one person's bigger than anyone else, and the team can beat the individuals. So you guys keep doing your thing. I think these guys are going to walk on the floor and say, this is the public school champion. Don't let anybody doubt you. Show them what you're made of. Thanks for being on our show, Owen and Nick. We appreciate it. Coach Roberts, you can use any of that in your pregame speech if you want, all right? I'm going to give that to you.
Thank you.
Right? I've coached 0 games in my lifetime. So anyway, I don't know anything.
So what are you saying? You're undefeated, Devo?
That's true. The big goose egg in my loss column. For Steve Bradley and our producer, Joe Broad, I'm Jeff DiVeronica saying, go Victor, go the rest of the Section 5 team still alive in the Federation. Thanks for watching us right here on the Cosm Ferris High School Sports Show.